15 if you're following, or just sing. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Pelham L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barachuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Say it, Pelham L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos, everyone. We're on page 15.
Let me turn my page too.
Page 15.
Page 15. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Litzor Yishen, Nekat Mafana Betodah. Naria, Naria, Litzor Yishen, Bezmira, Naria Lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. To the Chatima? Chatima? Chatima. 40 שנה כול בדור, ואומרם טועה לבבהם, והם לא ידעו דרכי. אשר נשבעתי באבי, אם יבואון אל מנוחתי.
Page 16.
שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים, כבודו בכל העמים, נפלותיו, כי גדול אדוני, עולם מאוד, נורא הוא, על כל אלוהים, איי איי איי, כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, הוד והדר, לפניו עוז ותפארת, במקדשו הבו לאדוני, משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני, כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני, כבוד שמו, זהו מנחה, ומלך ארצותיו, איי איי, השתחוו לאדוני, דרת קודש, הילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים, אדוני מלך הבטיחון תמר, בעל תימות, יגדו אף ושרים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ, ירם הים, ומלוא, יעלו שדי, וכל
Shabbos, everyone. When I say good Shabbos, you say good Shabbos. Good Shabbos, everyone. One thing I like to do sometimes at the beginning of Shabbat, and I forget a lot of times to do this, but is to say something, to share something really special that happened during my week. So if anyone want to raise their hand and share something really special that happened during your week? I'll tell you something really special that happened during my week. We had a class here of the Nitzanim, 3 and 4-year-olds, and we got the Torah out, and we put the Torah on this really nice bed, right, Mabel? And we got to touch the Torah, and we got to hold the Etzei Chaim, and that was a really special moment in my week. If you don't have a really special moment, or something, it could be something you're looking forward to next week. Anyone? Kids, grown-ups? Mariut.
I'm going to go see lemurs at the Duke Primate Center in North Carolina next weekend.
Wow.
That's exciting.
What's a lemur, Mariut?
What's a lemur? A lemur is like a special animal that's a little bit like a monkey and a little bit like a raccoon and only exists on the island of Madagascar on the outside of Africa, on the continent of Africa.
Wow. Anybody else? Special things that happened this week.
You don't want to say? He's shy. All of a sudden he's shy. Come on, tell.
Anyone?
Go ahead.
Wait a minute, say that louder. Seven double, mazel double, mazel double, seven double, mazel double, mazel double, seven double, mazel double, mazel double, seven double. Yeah, hey, Lanu, yeah, hey, Lanu, yeah, hey, Lanu. Oh, the whole Israel. Yeah, hey, Lanu, yeah, hey, Lanu. Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, oh, let fall Yisrael, Yehelanu, oh, let fall Yisrael, use it wisely.
I just have to add to that, as a proud mama, he drove home from the from the preschool that he went to as a kid. It's only up the block. It was up the block, but it warmed my heart that he drove home from that preschool.
All right, we got lemur visits, we got new permits, we got sharing the Torah with the Nitzanim. Who else has a special thing to share? Anything special? Leah? No?
My team beat the NYCFC at the Yankee Stadium last Sunday.
Soccer victories.
The
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Oh, Red Bull.
All right, well, I'm sure even if we didn't share them, anyone want to share one more thing?
I got a huge increase in my car insurance because my son got it.
That's true.
Well, there's a really, really important Jewish value called hakarat hatov, which means trying to recognize the special things in our lives. And we just finished this holidays, we're starting all over, we're starting a new school year, and it's important sometimes in the context of all that to just sit and think, like, what really special happened in my life? And another thing that we often do on Shabbat, this I remember to do every Friday night. The first one I don't always remember. This I remember to do, we do every night, is bless our children. So parents, this is for you, this little kavanah is for you. There's this idea, we do Birkat Kohanim. We bless our children that way. And originally the Kohanim, right, they would do this thing where everyone's seen Star Trek, or they do this thing. And the idea there is that the Kohanim would basically channel blessing down into the world. And only the Kohanim could do it. Only the Kohanim could do it. Except, there's one exception. On Friday night, parents can do it. And there's this thing when we have children, right? We just want to channel. Our children are a way of channeling blessing into the world. And there's a song that I love. All right, so this is for parents, and if you have your kids here, you can hug them if they will let you. If you don't have your children here, you can think about them, and you can still bless them. And the first is for the parents, okay? So you're going to repeat after me. You are a blessing.
You are a blessing
Every day.
every day.
As I watch over you.
As I watch over you.
As you learn and play. And I'll love you and keep you. And comfort you. Forever and ever. And ever. Now kids, I'm talking only to you now. Okay? Your parents love you so much. And sometimes loving you that much is hard for moms and dads. It is. And your parents need blessings too. All right, so kids, I want you guys to repeat after me, okay? Can you repeat after me? Promise? Okay. It goes like this. And I want you to look at your parents when you say this. You are a blessing every day as you watch over me and our family. I'll love you and keep you and comfort you forever and ever and ever. Now everyone repeat after me. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Yaher Adonai Panav elecha v'chuneka Yisa Adonai Panav elecha V'yasem lecha Shalom. We'll continue with Lecha Dodi on page 21. And just warning you, in the middle of this, I'm going to ask everyone to get up and make a circle and dance, because it's good to get moving. Please find your seats.
Take a breath. Breathe.
Hold on a second. Okay. Everyone find your seats. And I want everyone to and I'm going to put their hands to their lips. Go like this. Shh. I should hear no talking. No talking. Jonah and Jonah. Jonah and Jonah. Jonah and Jonah. Shh. Everyone do this one more time. But you know, so there are times on Shabbat when we get up and dance, and it's really exciting. And there are also times, Jonah and Jonah. There are also times on Shabbat to be quiet. And one of the things we do in a community is when people in our community are sad, we try to make them feel better. Especially when people in our community lose someone that they love. And someone in our community, Linda, who's standing right back there, she lost someone that she loved. She lost her daddy. He was really old. And over Sukkot he died. And so Linda doesn't come in and dance on Kabbalat Shabbat because she's sad. But she comes in later and we say, Hamakom Yinachem Otach B'toch Shar Avelei Tzion V'Yushalayim. May God comfort you among all those who mourn for Zion and Jerusalem. Linda, it's really, really wonderful to see you here. We'll continue with the Psalm for Shabbat on page 23.
Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'munacha b'alelot. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tzadik atah yifrach eres Lebanon yizgeh shetulim bebeit Adonai behatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenun beseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki Hashem Adonai tzuri velo avlatavu.
We'll continue with Mourner's Kaddish on page 24. Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'gala u'v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Before we continue with Baruch Hu, which we're going to do in just a moment, I have a question for you guys. Kids, adults, it's a real question, and I've really been thinking about it, and I really want to know the answer. Okay? So, this week is Parshat Breshit. Can anyone, first of all, first question, can anyone raise their hand and tell me what is in Parshat Breshit? What's it the story of? Anyone remember from the Learning Center this week, or does anyone just sort of know what's Parshat Breshit about? Can someone raise their hand? Maybe a kid? Anyone? Adam. In the beginning. In the beginning, what happened in the beginning? In the beginning there was creation, right? Now, the weird thing about Parshat Breshit, kids, grown-ups, is that it actually tells the creation story 2 times. The first time, God creates, first there was darkness, and then God creates light. And then God creates heaven and earth and the plants and the animals and finally people. And it's very orderly, and it goes just like God planned, and it's a perfect creation. That's the first story. The second story is a little different. In the second story, the first thing God creates are human beings. And then the human beings are difficult. Sometimes they're nice, and sometimes they fight, and sometimes they do good things, and they do bad things. And it's really, really complicated. Okay? But there's 2 stories. There's this one that's really simple and goes really perfectly. And there's this one where God creates human beings, and the human beings like get into fights with each other. And sometimes they're nice to each other, but sometimes they're not. And there's all of this different complicated stuff that goes on. My question for you guys, kids or grown-ups, is why the Torah tells 2 versions of the same story. Why do you think there are 2 versions of the same story? I used to be a teacher. I can handle awkward silences. Why 2? Is that a hand, Jonah? Is that just a dino? Just a dinosaur? Why 2 versions of the same story? Grown-ups can answer this too. There's not a right answer to this, but it's an important question. Yes, Mike, what do you think?
2 perspectives?
So 2 perspectives, right? So Scarlett and Liam, do you guys always agree on everything? No. Perfect example. Perfect example. Right? You have 2 different perspectives on the same question. Liam's like, yeah, absolutely. Scarlett's like, no way. Right? 2 different stories to one question. Okay? So one thing the Torah might be trying to teach us and remind us is that when we're thinking about anything, whether it's the creation of the world or just how we're supposed to behave or what about school, all these different kinds of things, there's lots of different perspectives. It's important to ask different people and get different ideas because that's part of what makes life interesting. And that's part of what makes a community. There's all kind of different people here, which is amazing. Any other ideas? Why might the story tell the same story twice? Yeah.
2 different vantage points.
Right, 2 different vantage points, right? So, right, if I see something, if I'm looking, let's take a really simple example. If I'm standing out there on Esplanade and I look at the PJC, am I going to see the same thing as if I was standing back there in the parking lot? Yes or no? No, why not? Why not? In a different place. Right? So I have a different perspective. Right? So maybe from one perspective, creation happened this way. The world was created this way. Maybe from another perspective, the world was created this way. And the Torah wants us to know that you can have different perspectives. And that can all be part of one Torah. And one story in one community. Beautiful. Any other ideas from kids? Why tell a story twice? Why not just say once is enough? Any other ideas? Come on, kiddos. Young students, young people. Why tell the same story twice?
Get better with practice.
What's that?
Get better with practice.
Oh, very nice, right? So maybe the Torah is teaching us something about practice, right? Maybe the Torah is teaching us that, you know what, if we tell the story once, well, gosh, maybe that was a good story. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe we tried. Has anyone ever tried to tell a story or tried to tell a joke and they kind of forgot how it goes in the middle? Has anyone ever done that? Yeah, people have done that, right? Sometimes it's all right. But if you tell the story again and you practice telling the joke, right? Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. Think about that for a minute. Right? That Groucho Marx joke actually took me a while to learn. Okay, so these are all beautiful ideas. And the Torah, the thing I want to put is Torah, the beginning of the Torah tells us all of these stories. And there's so many amazing stories that we're going to read throughout the year together, whether we're in the Learning Center or whether you come to shul or you come to these Friday night things. And there's so many amazing stories to learn. And they're all telling us something a little bit different. Just like there are so many amazing people in this community and they're all telling us something a little different. And in school there's so many amazing different students and you have something to learn from all of them and all of your teachers. That's what the Torah, I think, is trying to teach us. There's a lot of voices in the world. And we're so lucky that we get to hear so many of them. We will continue in just a moment with Baruch Hu, which is on page 28. Everyone, please stand up for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. U'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla u'madil ben yom u'ben layla Adonai tzvaot shemo El Chai v'kayam Tamid yimlach aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv aramim. Ki Yom chayenu v'york yomeinu v'hem negeh yomam v'layla V'avedecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Elohim mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Ve'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam V'shivtecha b'beitecha U'v'lechtecha b'derech U'v'shokbecha u'v'kumecha U'kshartam le'ot al yadecha V'hayu letotafot bein einecha U'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha U'v'isharecha Adonai Elohechem
Continue with me in Chamocha on page 32 or page 72.
Can I teach you a new Michamocha? If you don't know it, it has yada dais in it. Yada dai 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 yada dai dai dai. Try that. Yada dai 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 yada dai dai dai. Now say yada dai 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 yada dai dai dai. Yada dai 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 yada dai dai dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Whole thing. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Put mi chamocha to it. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osei pele malchutecha malchut ra'uvanecha bokei ayam lefnei Moshe malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei ayam lefnei Moshe Zeh Eli Anu ve'ameru Adonai Yimloch Leolam Leolam Va'ed Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 Yada dai 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 Yai dai 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 dai. Ve'ne'emar ki fadanu et Yaakov v'lo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. I have a beautiful Ashki Veda. Can I get some volunteers to pass out this one? Just pass around. We tried this one a week ago, I believe, and now I actually have song sheets for you. And it goes like this. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, vehamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Let's try the Hebrew one more time from the top. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, vehamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, vehamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. ושמו צאתנו ובאנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Please.
74 or page 34, please rise.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד יברך ירצה וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וישומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Ya-da-da-da-da-da. Yada na 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 na, yada na 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 na, yada na 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 na, yada na na na, yada na 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 na, yada na 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 na. Oh, say shalom bimromav, oh yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Yekana mikdash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma dirakirotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'mechon, v'chayedechon beit Yisrael, ba'agalag v'zman kari v'imeru. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach, le'olam olam me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalav shmid kudesha. Brichul le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tishberchata v'chenechemata, damiram ve'alma v'imeru. Tikabal sotahon v'odhon dekol Yisrael, kodam v'hondi v'shmaya v'imru. Yehi shalom rabim bin shemaya v'chaim, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כהמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ימי עושה הארץ ומשה ביקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת תזל ושכינת תזל בגבהי מרומים. ואלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו וזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, מעל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
seated. This week we observe the Artziton of Sarah Smith, grandmother of Leah Leonard, Charles A. Binger, father of Leah Lenny, Howard Samuels, father of Carrie Hochberg, Jack Abe's house, husband of Evelyn Abe's house, and father of Adam Abe's house, Charles G. Bernstein, a founding member of the PJC, Bernard Coblins, grandfather of Eleanor Dreyfus, Israel Taich, grandfather of Jonathan Herzog, and we also recall Esther Mindus, who is memorialized on our board. May all of their memories be blessings. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 52. Yitz Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei. b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. We thank you all so much for coming. I think we are going to forego announcements tonight and finish immediately with a song. What's that?
Adon Olam.
And Adon Olam is the one on page 54 or page 113.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kiklot HaKol, Levado Yimlok Nora Adon Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoveh, Ve'hu Yeh B'tzipara Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'hu Echad Ve'en Sheni, Le'am Shilo Le'achbira Adon Olam, Ve'li Reshit, Ve'li Tachlit, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Tzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Hazai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzorchev li Be'et Sarah Adon Olam, Ve'hu Nisi, Umanos li, Menakosi B'yom Egra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, B'ya'ado Avkid Ruchi, Be'et Ishan Ve'a'ira Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi Gevi'ati, Adonai li V'lo Ira Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom. Dash to go to you. I remember which thing. Hi. Oh yeah, bring them up here. Sure, we'll use them again. Absolutely.